Uh, welcome to the panel, everyone. Hello, my name is Brynn Apprill, and we're gonna have a good time, I hope. Um, I always get so nervous because I never know what to talk about at the panels, but that's why it's a Q and A, because I'm not good at just a. But yes, but that's why I work in scripted entertainment because I'm improv. No. Um, but anyway, yes, my name is Brynn April. You probably know me better as Historia from Attack on Titan, Kobani from Chainsaw Man, Shirahoshi from One Piece, Melody from Fairy Tale. Uh, Hiyori from Noragami, Chingchue from Honkai Star Rail. I'm sorry, it's been 10 years of doing this. So if I am not mentioning one of your favorite characters and they're like, she didn't say the name, it's because I'm just, 10 years is a long time. That's a decade, baby. Um, anyway, um, I'm going to just like open up the floor to any kind of questions. It can be about specific shows, specific characters, acting in general, or just the spice of life. Yeah, so do we have any questions to just sort of kick things off? Or I can do my very best to improv, but like I told you, it is not my forte, so it's gonna be interesting if I'm forced to improv. Any questions? Okay. Mhm. Okay. So the thing about like Genshin and Honkai Star Rail is they're very akin to this one game. Well, they're not so akin, but the pay to play kind of games. There's this one game called oh, what was it called? I haven't played it because I got so sucked into it. It's this Nikki game, this dress up Nikki. Okay. I hooked up my card to the game and I was just buying outfit after outfit after outfit. It was so bad. And eventually, like, my dad and I were going through my expenses, and he was like, did you, like, are these, like, did someone hack your account or are these you? And I was like, oh, yeah, those are me. And he was like, okay, I just wanted to make sure it was you. And because it looked like it was fraudulent, it was so bad. And so I was like, oh my God, I have a problem. So I deleted the app. Um, um, but I know if I tried to play Honkai or Genshin, it would just be the same problem. I'd be like, I gotta do another poll. You know, it would be so bad. I can't let myself do it because I know I would just go for broke. It would be so unhealthy. So no, I do not play because it would be a dangerous game. So yes. Any other questions? Mm, yes. Um, it depends on if I've worked with the studio before or not. Um, like for example, for Crunchyroll, I just get a text, and usually it is at like 11 o'clock at night, because they know I'm so available. I'm at their beck and call. It's pathetic, um, but they'll just be like, "Hey, can you come in tomorrow?" And I'm like, yes, I have no life. So yeah, I can come in tomorrow. But other studios, it'll be through my professional email that I have like on all my social media. Or if it's a studio that I've like literally just never worked with before, uh, like if I submitted to them through like a DM or something, they might just DM me back. Um, but usually it's through my professional email. Yeah. Or it'll be through my agent. They also reach out to studios for me. Um, but usually it'll be through my professional email. Yes. Any other questions? No. Yes. Mhm. Ooh, let me think. Oh, one that I'm really sad about that I'm having to say goodbye to this year, is What We Do in the Shadows. I am so sad about it. We're saying goodbye to it, and it is one of my absolute comfort shows, which is weird because it's so quirky and like out there. But I love that series. I loved the movie, like because it's based off of a movie. Um, and I think it's the funniest thing, and it's so sad that they're like calling it a rap. I'm just devastated. Because I could watch that forever. I really could. Ooh, let me think. Has anyone seen The Wild Robot? It's so good. Wasn't it so fantastic? It's so good. If you haven't seen it, highly recommend it. Highly, highly, highly recommend it. It's still in theaters. So good. Really fantastic. The voice work was fantastic. It's got Matt Berry in it, which is hysterical. Because he's in What We Do in the Shadows as well. But he's in everything nowadays. He was in like the Overwatch thing. Not Overwatch. The Vault people. Who are the Vault people? Fallout. He was in the Fallout thing. He's in everything. Oh my gosh. But yeah, it's got Matt Berry in it. He plays a beaver. It's very funny. But yeah, another one was The Wild Robot. Really, really, really good. So emotional. So just touches you right here and just really good. Excellent question. I love getting to like plug other things that were really well done. Any other questions? Yes. Okay, that that was just anyone not anyone down for like spoilers? Is that okay? If you're against spoilers, raise your hand and I won't do it. No spoilers? Oh, okay. Um uh to to avoid delving into spoilers, it was like the past is the present, is the future, is the past. It was just boosh, and I was so one thing I was sad about that was pertinent to my character is that she wasn't there. She was just off on the farm. I was like, and I feel like she could have been such an asset because she really is so incredibly strong. And that really, I was just like, really, guys, come on, like, give my girl some action because uh, but I get it. Whatever. She's preggers, so they didn't want a pregnant lady swinging around. But okay, fine. But anyway, oh, but that's the scene with the uh, uh, without spoiling, that just that just killed me. Oh my gosh. That was devastating. Oh my god. That messed me up. And okay, so if you can have what? Why is it so wrong to have a preggy lady in the action? Because that was intense too. So I don't know. Whatever. Attack on Titan. Okay. All right. But any other questions? Yes. Oh, no, it's okay. Go ahead. Oh, well, yes. But if she if she could I wish she would have ended up with Amir, but in the course of things that followed, um, I wish I feel like she got the ending that was necessary. Not like oh she couldn't have ended up with Emir. Not that. Like but in Emir passing and accepting that, I feel like she did what she had to do and she accepted her fate and it I understand her choices and I think that she thought them through very thoroughly. And I don't believe that she would have just rolled over and been like, "I'll just do whatever you guys say." I think that she really thought everything through and was like, "No, this is the best choice and the only choice for my people and I am doing what is best for them." And I think she really did think everything through. Um if Amir was still alive, I think things would have gone very differently. Um but in accepting her passing, I think things went the way that were according to her plans. So I think she still should have been part of the finale, but but I think and we see her in the finale and she's still, you know, very much in charge, very much um doing everything that she needs to do and making very thoughtful choices for what is best for everyone. And I think that she's really she wouldn't just do something because someone told her to. She's making her own way. So that's my 2 cents. And yes, you had a question as well. Mhm. I did not actually audition for Shirahoshi. I was just cast as her. The director at the time had already like heard some of my other work and was like that when Shirahoshi appeared in the show, they heard her voice print and they were like, "Oh, that's Brynn. That's just gotta be Brynn. She'd be perfect for it." And they called me in, and if I hadn't have been perfect, they would have recast me. But so I came in and I did the first episode where we see her, and they were like, "Yep, that was it." And so, um, because when we first see her, she's just like, who's there? Come out. I'm scared. You know, and she and like I just went in, I did my best and they were like, "Yep, that was it." And so I actually did not audition for Shirahoshi. So no, there were no others that I had auditioned for. It was just you're Shirahoshi and there you go. And I was like, "Okay." And I was very very happy because I got to live my childhood dream of being a mermaid princess. And I tell you what, my parents have a pool and if I wasn't like sticking those diving rings on my head and being like, "I'm a princess," and like I literally I because there are you know how they have like all size of the diving rings. I would decorate myself with them, and I would wear one as a crown, and the others were like my bangles, and then I would stick one over both of my feet, and I was a mermaid, and so literally it was the childhood dream come true. So I'm very, very happy. Yeah, Shirahoshi is one of my favorite little babies. Any other question? Yes. Ooh. Ooh. Um, Two that would be interesting is Mimosa and Vine. Because they both have their plant powers. It would be interesting. I feel like they would just click, and they would be like, "Let's just build a topiary garden. It'll be beautiful." And like it would just like be like you'd just hear like, and then like just bushes would just like erupt, and like it would just be like, "Oh my God, where are we?" And like I feel like they would just have a hoot together. Two that I would keep apart. Um, I feel like some of my characters are uh, just a bit much. Um, and I feel like poor Kobani would just be really stressed out by them. Like, for example, Hikari from Interviews with Monster Girls, she just is a troublemaker to the core. And I feel like she would sense the bubbling anxiety within Kobani and be like, "Aha, a target," and just prey on her. And so I would try and be like, "No, no, no, not target, friend." Like just I would have to just be like, "Let me just keep an eye on you like a new puppy." Just no bad. Like just I wouldn't necessarily have to like separate. I would just be like, "What are you doing? Where are you going? What drop it?" Like I would just have to just really keep an eye on her. So maybe those two I would have to just be like, you know. Very interesting question. Yotsuba could be with everybody. She's just a ball of happiness and sunshine and love. So she could just chill out with everyone. She'd be the peacekeeper. I would like designate her to be like on watch for everyone. I'd be like, "Okay, it's you and me, baby. We're bopping from everybody to everybody else. It's you and me, all right?" And she'd be like, "Got it, sir." Like so yeah, we'd be a team. We'd be keeping the peace. Any other questions? Yes. Yeah, that actually is the first anime I ever voiced. So I was a fresh green baby girl when I voiced that. I was 17 years old. And so yeah, I was still learning my way around voice acting when I started that. And so it was very interesting. I would like record a line and I would just whip my head to the director and be like looking for approval. Like, was it acceptable, boss? Like, I was very much so very fresh and very green and still learning what open mouth reaction was and learning kind of the balance of my projection and like because you don't want to like be talking into the mic this loud because that's going to come across too loud and they're going to have to gain you way down, but you don't want to be this loud either because they're going to have to gain you way up, and then all of your mouth sounds are going to come through and it's going to sound like this, and then woo, that's a little bit of ASMR for you. um, so you have to find the right balance for it, and I was still very much figuring that out. And so it's it's so painful because all I hear in the first season is what I would have done differently now that I'm very much more comfortable in front of a mic and I've really found my voice. But now that we are 5 seasons into that show, every time we get a new season, they play you a reference of your character voice so that you can kind of get back into the voice and you're not just having to try and remember what your character sounded like. But my reference is from season one. And so they play it, and I'm just like, oh, okay, that's good. Thank you. Okay. It's just, I just cringe. It's just, ooh, I can't listen to season one. Everything after season one, I am very proud of. But season one, I just, my breath support is not there. My confidence is not there. The voice, it's just not, it's not, I just, I just don't. I can't. And everyone loves it, but I just don't. And it's so frustrating because I could have done so much better, but it's out there forever now. And that's the thing about it is everyone has their first show and they have to accept that it is out there forever. And all they hear, every single person has their first show. And I guarantee you, now, where they are now, they would have done it differently. Guarantee you. So it's, yeah. It's hard, but I'm so grateful for it because it got me to where I am today. So, yeah. Everyone has to have a first show, I suppose. And that was mine. So, yeah. Any other questions? Yes.
So you had mentioned earlier that you have an affinity for fashion and outfits.
Yes. Yes, Nikki. Yes.
And anime has some very interesting outfits and
Mhm.
fashions for different shows out there. If you could have one of your characters, not necessarily exactly, but influence fashion from 2022,
Oh.
which character would you pick and why?
Oh, shoot. Um, oh man. Can I choose someone that's not my character? Okay, the girls from Sailor Moon. They they're so it's very but it's so classic. Their looks are so classic and it's not like it's not stylized for like a certain like generation or anything. It's just timeless looks. And I'm just like that's classy. Ooh. And you can because it's just simple things that they've put together and I'm just like that's nice. It just looks so expensive, so chic and I'm just like, "Oh, I love it. I love it." And so I actually have on my Pinterest um I've like saved some of their outfits into my like looks inspo and I'm just like, "Yes, I know it's anime, but it's classy and I like it. So who cares? Whatever." And so, yes, that's ooh, fashion inspos. Yes. Very nice, very tasteful. The girls from Sailor Moon.
Follow up.
Yes.
What's your favorite outfit on Sailor Moon?
Ooh, Sailor Jupiter's got some good ones. She really does. And I kind of like that more tomboyish style that she's got. So I think if I had to pick one that was like, ooh, that's my style, it would be modeled after some of her looks. I can't think of any one look in particular, but more so, or Amy, which is the total opposite because she's super feminine. So it would just be like It depends on the situation because it would be like date night versus every day. So I don't know. But because I am one extreme or the other, it's just. Of course, I'm neither today. I'm just t-shirt jeans girl, whatever. But um, yes, those two because Ray, I'm using their dick names. I'm sorry. Because that's what I grew up with was the dick dub. So, um, that's who the voice what the names that I'm gonna use. Um, but hers is a little too classical style for me. She's very it's just very traditional looking outfits. That I couldn't pull off. But uh yeah, the other two I like a lot. Yes. Yes. Ooh. It would be Yotsuba, and we would go to Six Flags because that would yes. Do you guys have a Six Flags? Oh, Dollywood. So equivalent of Six Flags, yes. Which we went to last night. We went to Dollywood, but all the rides were closed. That I was like, oh no, why? Because like my handler, she was like, I don't understand that because like last winter, like when I went, like they were all still open at late o'clock when it was really really cold, but for some reason last night they were just closed. But it was still really pretty and everything was all Christmasified. And I was like, oh, I love it. So we took lots of pictures and it was really fun. So yeah, and I got a little t-shirt and it was really expensive because it's Dollywood. So but yes, it would be Yotsuba, and we would go to Six Flags, and we would play the games that are unwinnable. And I would try and win her a stuffy because I know she would keep it forever, and so that would warm my heart a lot. And then we would ride the chair drop because I know she would be terrified, and that would be hysterical. Yes, that's what we would do together because I know she's very sporty and she would be all into it. So, yes. Any other questions? Everyone's got such good questions. I love this. Someone just asked something. What was it? Yes. No, it was very empty. And they kept on doing this announcement. They were like, the Dollywood fireworks special will not be taken into effect tonight because it is too dry. And I was like, well, shoot, there goes the reason for coming. Like it is so it was really, everything was just closed. And we were just like, oh well, we're here. So but it was freezing, but it was beautiful and it was very empty, so we were able to take pictures wherever we wanted. Yeah, it was really really cool. It was really fun. It was really cool. It was so cold. Oh my god. I came to Tennessee with just a sweatshirt. I was just like, I'll be fine. The only time I'll be outside is when I'm going from like one thing to the car. I'll just be fine. No. It was freezing. Oh my gosh. Any other questions? Yes.
Of all your series that have ended, if you were asked to come back to any of them, which one would you want the most?
Noragami. Noragami 1,010% because it's just There's no other show like it. It's so unique and it's so beautiful and the story is so freaking cool. And it did so well while it was running. I don't understand why they didn't continue it. I really don't. The manga, there's more in the manga and they've actually picked the manga back up. Fingers crossed they do the same with the anime. I don't know, but really? Well, I would be very happy if that was true. I would be thrilled because it's really one of my favorites. And anyone who comes up and knows it, they're like, I love this series. But you know, if it's one that I always recommend if someone's like, oh, I love like slice of life. Oh, I love like if they love Demon Slayer, if they love Black Clover, if they love like it's for everybody. It's for people that love like any genre. They'll love Noragami. Guaranteed. It's so good. It's just it's so good. So, yeah, that's without a doubt the one I would want to come back. Yep. Any other questions? No? Oh my goodness, am I gonna have to improv? Okay, let's see. Oh, yes. Mhm. We never get the scripts a few days ahead. It is always a cold reading. Um, what happens is we go in and we have one monitor with the video feed, and then we have one monitor with the script, and we watch the we'll do maybe like 5 cues at a time. Cues are lines. Um, and so we'll watch it once in Japanese and we'll kind of read along while we're watching it, and then we'll come in for a take. And so you're kind of watching the video to match the flaps because we can't reanimate the flaps, the mouth flaps. We have to match them. And so what we get is we get a little timer that goes beep, beep, beep. And so that'll tell you that last beep is when you start reading. And so it'll go beep, beep, beep. Okay, so I was at the store the other day, like, and that's how you do it. Um, so you'll be reading as you're watching the flaps and your eyes just kind of have to go back and forth and back and forth. But you've never seen the script before. It is always your first time seeing everything. And so if you stumble, you have to come back in for it. Which is why if anyone is like, I'm really interested in voice acting, what should I do to kind of practice for myself? I'm like cold reading, like read books out loud to yourself that you've never read before. It's really great practice, and just try and like get in the habit of not d- doing what I just did. Not being like, I went to the store don't do that. It's really great practice. So yeah, and then there are always like little words that catch people. Like for me, it's managed to, because the to is really hard to say. People say managed to, and you can't say that. You can't say managed to. You have to say managed to. So that catches me all the time. Um, and so yeah, that's we never get it ahead of time. It's well, except for video games. Video games will send it ahead of time, but it's usually like the day before. And so it's like, yeah, I got a chance to read over it. No, I didn't, because you're living your life. But um, yeah, for anime, no, you've never seen it before. Like Crunchyroll, no, because it's NDA. It's they have to keep that stuff protected. Um, Video games sometimes will send it, but it's just what you're going to be working on for that session. It's not like a whole script. So yeah, yeah. Excellent question. Any others, perhaps? Maybe. Hello, my dear. Did you get some food? Oh, good. Any others? Maybe? Oh no, here it comes. Okay. So I will kind of tell my story then. Um I got into Crunchyroll and kind of into the business through open call auditions. If you don't know what open calls are, it is basically one director seeing people in about 15-minute intervals and for a whole week. And what you do is you go in at your designated time slot, and they have a male and a female character booklet of characters that have already been done. And you go in and you choose five, and it's five that show a range of what you can do with your voice. And um, so I went in and I chose my five, and I auditioned with Joel McDonald, who no longer works for Crunchyroll. He now works for Gearbox, which does the Borderlands series, which is super cool. Um, so I auditioned with Joel, and I did my five, and then he had me read for another one that I had not looked at, and I was like, "Oh dear, it's a cold reading," which I should have known is a practice for what we do every day. So that was a little trick to see if I could actually do what was going to be asked of me. Um, and then he had me read for one more, which was actually Black Star from Soul Eater. And I was like, "But that's a boy." And he was like, "Yes, it is." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And so um, I read for Black Star, which was also a cold reading. I had not looked at that one either because, again, it was a boy, and I did not think I would have to read for a boy. I thought it was in that book by accident, but no. Um, so I did another cold reading, which again, testing if I could do cold readings. And I left my audition thinking I had just blown it completely. And but shockingly enough, a week later, I got an email from our oh my gosh, what is she called? The people that work with the talent coordinator. And she wanted me to come in to audition for Joel's show that he had gotten for that season. And I was like, "Oh my God, okay, sure. Yeah, I'd love to come in." And so I went in and I auditioned, and it was for Day Day Live. And as you have heard earlier, I play coterie in Day Day Live. So I actually ended up booking it. And that was how I got started in the industry. And Joel was very patient and very kind. And he actually taught me basically everything I know. He taught me what the different reactions meant. He taught me what wild meant. He taught me what chasing meant. And just kind of like walked me through what all of the things and the nuances are for voice acting. And really set me up for a good foundation and gave me a base to work off of. And um, I just kept on growing from there. But he really set my foundation. Um, and so I'm so grateful for Joel. He's fantastic, and he actually teaches classes now, which I'm so. I think that's so great because he's such a fantastic teacher. I mean, obviously, like here I am today, and he taught me, so there you go. um but yeah, that's how I got into it. And I'm just so grateful to be here and to be working 10 years later. Yeah, it's really just a blessing. And yeah, I couldn't be happier, so yay. Do we have any other questions? Maybe. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I haven't been here. I don't know if anybody asked this, but have you ever seen a role and been like, "Damn, I wish I had gotten that one."
Oh, all the time, all the time. But I have this rule with my auditions called the send and forget it rule. Because if you keep in your mind an audition that you've sent out and you're just like, I haven't heard back, I haven't heard back, I haven't heard back, you're gonna drive yourself crazy. And you're gonna get into this mindset that the role is yours. And it's just not healthy, and then when or if it is announced that someone else got it, you're gonna be resentful towards that person, and it's not their fault. They wanted it just as much as you did, and they didn't do anything to you. I mean, we all audition for these roles in the hopes of getting it, um, and I mean, you never know how close you were to getting it. You could have been in the top 5, who knows? But you just you have to send and forget it. You, as soon as you click that button, you forget you ever even auditioned for it. It's just the healthiest way to do it. um and so that's just what I follow. And then if you hear back, that's awesome, woo. But if you don't hear anything back, you don't even remember, and that's fine. So yeah. Yep. Yes, yes, for sure. Yes. Oh, man. I don't think I ever had one that I wanted to be like, um, which I'm grateful for because I think if I did, because one thing that I do like a lot nowadays is I do voice matching. Like I'll voice for Sarah Wiedenheft, I'll voice for Megan Chipman, I'll voice for Lindsay Seidel. Like I'll go in and I'll voice match. I think if I did have someone that I was like, I want to be just like them, I would have tried to mimic their voice. And that could be dangerous because then you're not being your authentic self. You're trying to be someone else, which still probably would have gotten me work because obviously the person I'm trying to mimic is a good person and they've got work, but I would have gotten just as much work by doing my own voice, or maybe not just as much, but I still would have gotten work, and it would have been my voice. So, um, I don't have someone that I was like, I want to be just like them. But someone's voice that I really, really enjoy is Lucy Christian. I love her voice, and I think she's hysterical. I think she's so funny. Um, one show that I really love her from is School Rumble. If you don't know what that show, it is so funny, and I love it, and you should definitely watch it. Thank you. So yeah, definitely worth the watch. School Rumble, really great slice of life, hysterical. It's got 2 seasons, so there's definitely a lot to watch. Um, but yeah, I don't have someone that I was like, I want to be them. No. You said you thought of your question? Yes.
Anything you may do for your voice or
Mm.
voice feel like last year, this is what inspired this question. Bryce told us how even no skin, sometimes you have to drink this black sludge coffee to get it.
Ooh.
So if you have anything like that, anything you do for a certain character, when you need to make your voice a certain way, what do you call it?
Yeah. I was trained classically in voice, and so to warm up, I do my classical voice warm ups, which is like ah, Like I do that and then I go up and down the scale. I do tongue twisters things like um to sit in solemn silence on a dull, dark dock in a pestilential prison with a lifelong lock. Like, just, I do those. Um, and then if I've just gotten through like a really rough session and I'm having just a crap time and my voice is like this or something like that. Um, I like honey loquat drops. They're great. You can get them on Amazon. I also like thieves oil drops. Thieves oil is what plague doctors used to put in their masks, and it just it kept them from catching the plague. So yeah, I like thieves drops as well. So they're very strong. I get them from oh my god, what is it called? It's one of the essential oil companies. Um it's like living something. Living. I have 2 bars. I'll let it load. But that's what I use. Thieves drops and honey loquat. And then there's this weird honey that's like a Chinese honey that everybody freaking has this. Even the directors have this in their booths for like people that need it. I don't remember what it's called because it's in Chinese. But like they just have it in there so you can like go make tea in the break room and then come back and swirl it in, but it tastes awful. Oh my god, it's awful because it's like an herb honey and it's so disgusting. But yeah. Uh Young Living, the Young Living thieves drops. I use those as well, but those are so freaking strong. Oh my god, they're so strong. But I always have them on hand. They're great for sinus infections too. Great. Um, they're just fantastic. I always make sure I have them because they're just great. I One time I went to Haiti and I caught something over there. And yeah, I caught like an upper respiratory thing. And one of the ladies there had an essential oil thieves and she was just like, open your mouth, shake, shake, shake. And I was like, and it was so strong, but it knocked it out. It was incredible. It was incredible. So, yeah, Thieves, really, really good. Any other questions?
So,
Yes.
so look, in an anime world, there is going to be a show come out about you in art, and you're the main character.
Oh no.
As the casting director, which of your characters would you enjoy the most watching them going into a recording booth and trying to dub you?
Like which of my characters?
Which would you enjoy? They go into the booth and they're watching you and they're trying to dub you for the yeah. Who would you like to watch recording? Yeah.
I don't fully understand. Explain it.
Okay. You got it.
So they're the voice actors.
They're the voice actor. Yes.
Oh shoot. Shoot buckets. Maybe Yamada from Kase-san with Morning Glories. Um, or Yotsuba. Yotsuba would be really funny, but I'm trying to think of like my home life. Yeah. because everyone comes up and they say I sound just like Yotsuba or I sound just like they say I sound like Krista a lot. But I'm trying to think of who could capture my home life sound. Because when I'm with my when I'm with my boyfriend, it's baby. Oh my gosh, baby, I miss you. What you doing, baby? What you doing? It's time. What you doing? And so that's me and my boyfriend. Um, and so okay, so maybe Yotsuba then. So yeah, it would probably have to be Yotsuba because she woo, that's Yotsuba. So probably Yotsuba would do the best. Yes. Oh my gosh, they'd have to for Yotsuba. I feel like she'd like be like all up on the mic. They would have to do what they did with Aaron Dismuke when he was a little boy. Did you know the story? Okay, so when Aaron Dismuke was recording Full Metal Alchemist, they had to put him on a stool because he kept like he kept like being all up over the mic and like walking off to the side, and so he was off mic. So they had to put him on a stool and be like, hold the sides of it. And he had to sit there like this and hold the sides of the stool so he wouldn't like go off of the mic and like so he would stay on mic. So they'd probably have to do that with Yotsuba too. So she wouldn't like okay. And he did? Oh! That's so Aaron. Oh my God. But unfortunately, that was the last question, everybody. So if you didn't ask your question, it's because you didn't raise your hand and it's your own fault. Okay. But that was it. And it was so lovely chatting with you. Thank you so much.